Hello, good morning. It's another Thursday in the life of the world, and welcome to this morning. Today, well, I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Today, another election roster, another possibility or opportunity beckons. The electoral umpire in our jurisdiction, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released a roster for the 2019 general elections. The timetable announces guidelines and schedule of activities for the poll. So as a responsive and responsible media house, we desire to undertake some stock taking and, as they say, lay the cards on the table just so we help mold an opinion or two for the elector. Let me quickly introduce my guests. The one is the man who is supposed to be here. He's a politician, but let's present him properly. He's a member Lagos State House of Assembly, representing Ekpe Constituency 2, and Chairman House Committee on Health Services. Let's meet and greet Honorable Segun Olulade.
Thank you.
I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year.
Of course, a familiar face is here. He's a lawyer, and by definition, President Voters Awareness Initiative. Let's also greet Barrister Wale Ogwande.
Good morning, great citizen, and of course, my people at home.
Let's start bottoms up. This Saturday, which is January 13, the Anambra Central by-election is billed for that day?
Yes.
So you are looking at Anambra State being shut down?
Anambra State may not be shut down totally. It's just that senatorial district that is involved.
Okay. May not affect Niger Bridge.
It will not affect Niger Bridge.
Okay.
It won't be shut down. But literally, it may be, except maybe if one may have to pass some corner, maybe Ozobulu, maybe immediately after the Niger Bridge, you just behave as if you are going to Umuahia and Co. Well, be that as it may, that's how we do it in Nigeria for now. And we've been proposing and advocating that, of course, you can have an election that people will be able to go around freely. Those who want to go, cast their vote and continue with their activities.
Yeah,
and that is what we think it will get to in the next year. Obviously, it won't be in 2019. Obviously, it won't be.
Okay. Honorable Olulade, let's spread out now. INEC says August 18 to October 7, 2018, slated for conduct of party primaries plus resolution of disputes arising therefrom.
Yeah.
Long enough time?
I think this is one of the best things that have started happening to our democracy in Nigeria. We now have ample time to plan. We have ample time as an electorate to determine who represents us. We now have plans to, ample time to also plan ahead and see how we can choose between candidates that aspirants that might be presenting themselves for election purposes. So I think the fire brigade means of doing things would not be for this particular election. So it will give us opportunity for us to hear they would be our representative, what they have to offer us, the kind of value they are presenting to us. I think is something that Nigerians will be happy about. We are shifting from those days of fire brigade approach where you will just, and all we see then is that you just bring a candidate on the podium and say, PDP, APC, and that is the end. And we just go ahead and vote for such a person. I think it is high time that the electorate start to inquire from would be their representative at different constituencies to understand what they have to offer them before going for election.
Let me tease you quickly. Are you hoping to run again?
Sure.
Okay. Well, so that's a candidate here.
Yes.
For 2019.
Yes.
August 17, 2018, publication of notice for election and national, state, and state polls.
Yeah.
Again, still talking about ample time.
Yes. This will give all the party the opportunity of selecting its candidates through a democratic process. It will give the candidates themselves the opportunity to sell themselves, just as my colleague said here. And the whole thing is to give the electorate the opportunity to choose their true representative.
Yeah.
The fallout of this will reduce acrimony, will reduce election rigging, will reduce brigandage, and above all, will reduce chaos, because the whole thing is now streamlined. He is a candidate now. His other opponents now know him. So they know that, they know his weak points, they know his strong points. So they begin to work on either his weak point, of course, for them to uproot him during the primaries.
Sometimes they go for the strong points.
No, they can't go for his strong point, because the
puncture
hole, right, they can't get that, because that's his own base.
Okay.
The politician will never leave his strong point. What he will want to do is that his weak point now, he will want to work on it in order to cover it up, maybe in terms of further constituency visits, maybe in terms of reaching out to the people, maybe in terms of meeting their needs and co. So many things there. Then, of course, the whole essence is that the party leaders and the voters themselves, they are now on the line. They are given the opportunity to know who is who and who can serve them better. And just as I said again, the era of maybe somebody just handpicking someone is out. I have been saying this for a long time, that democracy is about the people.
Wale, I'm still fighting to believe that.
You fight to believe it, because you are up there. Those who are down below are the people who are not listening. Some of these people, the downtrodden, to them, it is theirs. They have already sat down. They have already decided who can. They never believe that they are the one that has the power.
You blame them?
No, I won't blame them, because to all intents and purposes, they never push themselves out. They never believe that, yes, it can work. They believe that, yeah, that there is a superhuman being somewhere who can control everything. Not knowing that somebody being called a foreman is just an appellation, it's just a honor. He has no four heads. Without them, the foreman cannot work. Without the laborer, the foreman is nobody. So they are the laborers who can make things work. And just for now, all they need to do is that they too must take their destiny in their own hands. And doing that means that they will now put people like my friend here.
And stop leaving things for God.
That's it.
God has finished his job. Honorable, again, November 18, 2018, electioneering, that's campaign, will kick off.
Yeah.
For me here, politicians have an uncanny way of beating these timelines. You understand? When you go distributing rice and stuff and so on, that's beating the bell. You think November 18 is long enough a time to kick off electioneering?
I think the process has started. It started when the timetable is laid bare to everybody to see. And that November 18, when politicians will now have the opportunity of selling themselves to the electorate.
When the masquerades will come out.
Will come out and start selling this. And I think to the electorate, I think it is high time we start looking at the track record of who is even presenting himself or herself for election possibilities. So it's important that we look at their track record, the competency, the pedigree that they have, and what they even have to offer the people. And that is what this timetable is presenting to the Nigerian electorate. So for me, at that period, that November 18, the big masquerade will have been unleashed to the public. So it is now led for...
But between now and then, the drummers and so on will be performing in the behind the scene.
Behind the screen. We do a lot of things that we know is not possible.
Wale, that's sending a message. It says the electioneering actually started from the day the timetable was released.
God bless you, my brother. I guess INEC made a mistake there. And the other time when we were at the meeting with Professor Jaga, I pointed it out to him that we are in a political era. We are not in a military era. All the time is politics. Every time from now, it is politics. In fact, since Buhari, since the election, or even since 1999, you can't ban political activities. Once the military are off, we're in a civilian era. The whole time is politics. I can start campaigning for anything I want. Now restraining it, you are even making things difficult. You now allow people to go underground, which is bad. Politics, unfortunately now they have rolled out the timetable. Then what do you want people to work with?
Are you able to tell us what happens in the United States of America and so on?
No, politics is all over. I mean, everyone in Nigeria, not in America. In Nigeria, we knew Trump's ambition since 2014. His ambition to become the president in 2017. We knew in...
But campaigns will not be over.
Well, he was campaigning. All these politicians are busy campaigning all over. Okay. As I'm talking to you now, Morgan Tsvangirai is campaigning in Zimbabwe. They are campaigning all over. Once there is a political era, you must the issue of banning political activities is not it.
While he's still with you, December 3rd, 2018, last day for submission of nominations for forms to INEC for presidential and national.
I have no problem with all these timelines for political activities, for guidelines, for regulations, and to meet up with some standing procedures. Obviously, I can't just, I mean, the elections are coming, so because they need time to print the ballot papers, they need time to organize the number of voting units and so on and so forth, the polling units, the non-sensitive material, they need all these logistics. So they want to know who is who, how many parties are coming up. Are they serious? Because again, this time that we are talking about campaign and so on, and electoral activities, in fact, some parties that he does not have two people that will vote for him, who will come out and say, I want to become the president of the country. Is his right by virtue of the Constitution. So until maybe when he submits his paper, and of course he meets the requirement of two-thirds presence in 23 in the federation, then you know that he's serious, then you put his name on the ballot paper. But if you don't do that, then maybe 2 days too, he can go to court too. And say that, I guess it happened in one state, I've forgotten now, the state that it happened, that a candidate went to court that his name was not on the ballot paper. But if these timelines are there, these procedures are there, then obviously, and of course you have written me a letter that, I mean, a party AAA, through your candidate so, has not been able to meet up with the requirement. So he's not involved and he will not be allowed to take part in the electoral process of 2019. He will have gotten his notice way back, maybe January 2019. And there won't be any issue. Even if he goes to court, the court will now, the other party will raise a preliminary objection that he has been given adequate notice. You see, we should do things normally. To that extent, yes, INEC has done a good job. Let them quickly begin to issue this one, marshal this one now with more publicity. Not that it is something, because to all intents and purposes now.
And voter education.
Voter education, that's the next step now. There must be increased voter education. Not only by INEC, but by political parties and our candidates who are involved. Because, you see, they will think that the few, the merrier. That's what the politicians think. Because they want a very few number of people to come out and vote them in. But it doesn't work like that, because you may think so. But if eventually the opponent now begins to work underground, he's able to mobilize some voters, good luck to you.
Honorable, but the mathematics is very important. If in a supposed 180 million population, the voting population is less than 50 million, something is wrong.
Definitely something is wrong with us, with the system, I mean. I think we need to continue to educate the voters. People must know, just like Mr. Ogade said, that they need to vote and come out and perform their civic responsibility on the day of election. And in doing so, we need to continue. The youths are not doing well when it comes to election.
Yeah.
The youth needs to wake up. They need to understand that it's about them, it's about the future, their future.
You have a tall order here, you know, rousing the youth from the social media to the ballot
yes,
point.
That's...
Just a minute.
Okay.
The presidential election is built for February 16, 2019. Yeah. The governorship and state assembly elections for March 2nd. People had complained about which should come first. Have you tinkered with it? Should the big one come first or come last?
I think the big one should come last. For me, that's my opinion. I think the governorship and the state assemblies elections should come first, because once the presidency is decided at that level, then automatically there's some sort of rub-off on the states. But if, for instance, if the states and both the governorship and the states houses of assemblies election are conducted first, that gives rooms for people at the state level, because that's the first point of contact to the people at the grassroots. They should be the one to determine who is their governor, who is their state house of assembly. And until everybody, every citizen of this country realize the fact that they must vote people into their state house of assembly, people that have the integrity, people that have the capacity and the competency to deliver.
And the interest of the people.
And the interest of the people. Until that is done, the governorship
like
election,
you do.
Yes. Okay. So they must look into that. They must see it that the state house of assemblies, or they are not just an appendage of the governor or whatever. Yeah. They are there to represent the people's views and interests.
The governorship and state assembly elections should come first. Does Wale share this sentiment?
Unfortunately, I have another radical view. I've had opportunity to conduct elections for groups and associations. And those elections, sometimes 10 offices, sometimes 15 offices, I conduct one day. One day, within 3 hours, we are through. You may say, yeah, the number is very few, maybe 150, maybe 200, maybe 300, but it's the same thing. Because the president and all the other elections, all of them, they have their ballot papers printed and they have all the boxes around. People go in, you give them all the cards, all the ballot papers that they will use. They go there in a cubicle to print equally who they want to vote for, and they come out and drop one by one into the various boxes that they want. That's all. Then, of course, we may now spend days to count, maybe because of the sheer number. But I can assure you, because again, that helps us. You spoke about the Anambra Central the other time, that the place will be shut down. We all know the amount of money that Nigeria loses whenever an election is held. You may think so, but if eventually the opponent now begins to work on the ground, he's able to mobilize some voters, good luck to you.
Honorable, but the mathematics is very important. If in a supposed 180 million population, the voting population is less than 50 million, something is wrong.
Definitely something is wrong with us, with the system, I mean. I think we need to continue to educate the voters. People must know, just like Mr. Ogade said, that they need to vote and come out and perform their civic responsibility on the day of election. And in doing so, we need to continue. The youths are not doing well when it comes to election. Yeah. The youth needs to wake up. They need to understand that it's about them, it's about the future, their future.
You have a tall order here, you know, rousing the youth from the social media to the ballot point. Just a minute.
Okay.
The presidential election is built for February 16, 2019. Yeah. The governorship and state assembly elections for March 2nd. People had complained about which should come first. Have you tinkered with it? Should the big one come first or come last?
I think the big one should come last. For me, that's my opinion. I think the governorship and the state assemblies elections should come first, because once the presidency is decided at that level, then automatically there's some sort of rub-off on the states. But if, for instance, if the states and both the governorship and the states' houses of assemblies election are conducted first, that gives rooms for people at the state level, because that's the first point of contact to the people at the grassroots. They should be the one to determine who is their governor, who is their state house of assembly. And until everybody, every citizen of this country realize the fact that they must vote people into their state house of assembly, people that have the integrity, people that have the capacity and the competency to deliver.
And the interest of the people.
And the interest of the people. Until that is done, and the governorship
like
election,
you do.
Yes. Okay. So they must look into that. They must see it that the state house of assemblies, or they are not just an appendage of the governor or whatever. Yeah. They are there to represent the people's views and interests.
The governorship and state assembly elections should come first. Does Wale share this sentiment?
Unfortunately, I have another radical view. I've had opportunity to conduct elections for groups and associations. And those elections, sometimes 10 offices, sometimes 15 offices, I conduct one day. One day, within 3 hours, we are through. You may say, yeah, the number is very few, maybe 150, maybe 200, maybe 300, but it's the same thing. Because the president and all the other elections, all of them, they have their ballot papers printed and they have all the boxes around. People go in, you give them all the cards, all the ballot papers that they will use. They go there in a cubicle to print equally who they want to vote for, and they come out and drop one by one into the various boxes that they want. That's all. Then, of course, we may now spend days to count, maybe because of the sheer number. But I can assure you, because again, that helps us. You spoke about the Anambra Central the other time, that the place will be shut down. We all know the amount of money that Nigeria loses whenever an election is held. Until we do election that is free, that people will just go in. Again, I belong to the NBA. The last time we held our election, the Nigerian Bar Association election, I am a member of Ikeja branch. Unfortunately, that day, I was in Ilorin. I was in my hotel room when I voted on my system, on my phone.
And it counted?
Of course. There is a system now. I'm sure people these people are INEC, I'm sure they are watching. Again, we have done that. During the Jega era, I was part of those that in 2013, that we held a meeting that we can improve on the voting system and the communication system of the commission to give us an online up to speed. But again, the current chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has called for a meeting. They are working on it. I hope that it will come out. This thing is not cast in stone. We have done it before, and I know it's possible. We can conduct all the elections on a day, and of course, then we begin to announce the results gradually. Then we don't know which one to start. It's an easy thing to do.
Honorable Olulade, have you ever, for once, broached the subject of going E when it is voting time? I mean, at the assembly level.
No, you mean at the assembly level?
Yeah. Do you broach it?
During your voting process in the assembly?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We haven't. But
Lagos is supposed to be a pace setter.
Yeah. They should. In fact, we begin to harass them now. Yes. They are the center of excellence.
I think it is high time we go here during our election, because
it is possible.
It is possible. If we've done it, I happen to have a very good relationship with the student unions across the state, and I know it was done in Lasso. And the day we went there to commission it, I was part of the team that went there, and we saw how these things were.
Then why is it difficult?
So I'm sure they didn't put their mind on. Let me play the advocate. I'm sure they didn't put their mind on it. Now that you have raised it up, in fairness, the last time I went there during the former speaker's time, I thought they have something. They have an impressive assembly building. Chamber, but I didn't. My mind did not go there. But now that you have adverted my mind there, I'm sure someone there too is listening. We'll work on it. I will ensure that indeed.
Because e-voting, as he said,
it is Lagos.
If it comes, you don't need to shut down a state or local government.
I said I voted in Ilorin, and of course my vote counted. And of course, that's how many people, many, how which is a phone-in program, and maybe a lawyer who voted too will tell you that indeed, that's what we did.
No, the phone lines will be open.
So that's what we did. And of course, it was an interesting thing. There was no stress. And as soon as you voted, the thing will just come out, your vote is successful. That's all, you see it. Okay. And that's all.
Maybe there's this morbid fear of, will I get re-elected?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of challenges here where we are talking about the national level. The electricity, we have not been able to get it right. Even with our GSM, you go to some areas, you have issues making calls.
Network,
even, yes, a network problem. So it might be easier to conduct election where in that micro level, but when it becomes a national issue that some area have never tasted electricity since inception to date, some do not even know anything about network of the GSM network and also so it becomes an issue, and they also have that responsibility of voting. I think we can do both to start with, but I still think the first thing any government that will be campaigning in the next few months should be talking about now is to have uninterrupted power supply in this country, and also to provide good network for communication purposes.
Yeah, do you know today makes it 400 days to the first election?
Election, yeah.
400 days, too short a time to fix these things?
I think it's too short to arrive at having a maximum 100% coverage on electricity, but it can be done. Like for us in Lagos, and that's why I say Lagos model must be bought over by the national level.
Yeah.
At the national level, so that we can understand that once we do things right, we get good results. And I believe that for us in Lagos, some part of Lagos will start enjoying 100% uninterrupted power supply before the end of this year.
All right. Now we are done with the timetable in the strict sense. Now let's have a go at the fallouts. While a supposed Nigerian elite would crisscross the country like you, peddling democratic ideals, but on election morning, he is at home. He won't go to the polling station.
No. People like me. If you say people like me.
I'm saying...
if you say early, it's okay. If you say early, it's okay.
Yeah.
Some elites. But people like me are passionate about this thing. I don't get paid. Yeah. But I want the democratic structures to be improved. In fact, that's what made me to fund, to define, and to establish Voters Awareness Initiative. And the essence is that we want democratic systems, the structures to be strengthened. And we thank God that ever since we have started, obviously, we have added value to the electoral process. So you can count your blessings? Yes, I have to. If nobody praises me, I'm like the black African lizard. But be that as it may, the Nigerian elites, most of them really are not interested. And I won't go too far. The last local government election, I was scandalized and shocked. I didn't just know. Something said I should come and monitor the election during the local government election, to monitor in your backyard here, Magodo area. All of them locked themselves up. Nobody came out. It was scanty, some very few people. In fact, maybe they are liberals.
A major problem.
It's about elitism. Why will I go and vote? It's local government election. Yeah. Forgetting that it is that local government election that is more important, the most important election, because that determines your street. Whoever you elect as councillor or the chairman is the one that makes your life better or worse. And they care less.
From that level.
From that level. And that is the most important level. And you see, it goes wrong all over Nigeria. All over. You see, they look at local government as it's a local, like, careless. And these are people that they have the power to make rules and regulations. They call it edict. God help you if one local government chairman wakes up one day and makes an edit that by 10 o'clock everybody is at home. That's the law. No Inspector General of Police, no matter who he is, he's under the he has his house in that local government. If he flouts the law, he's in soup.
All right, Honorable Olulade, in a democracy, somebody like you, is just an example. If you fail at the ballot, you'll console yourself by saying, the system was unfair to me. People, meaning politicians, hardly take election results and move on. Am I making sense here?
You have, you see, if it is transparent, I could recall my last...
What do you mean transparent?
Thank you. I recall the last election, primary election we did in APC in 2015. My opponent, everybody were there.
Okay, the same party.
The same party. So, and we all voted. I scored 266 votes.
Open.
My opponent scored 66 votes. So in that situation, he does not have any right to go anywhere to say anything else.
Did he go ahead to challenge it?
He didn't, because he couldn't, because it's open. We have the cameras. It was transparent enough for everybody to see.
Not that you were anointed.
No, not that.
But you know about anointed candidates?
Yes, of course. It happens all over the world.
Okay.
It happens all over the world. You see some certain leaders or opinion models within a society that will look at a particular individual and say, this will serve the people better than others. So if such, and once the fellow is preferred by that person, that does not mean that person automatically becomes a candidate. So it's not left for the fellow to
go through the mill?
Through the, exactly. Now,
delegates and so on.
Delegates, and it's also the job of the delegates to also decide who will be their candidates. So in that kind of a situation, you won't have all sort of litigations that we do have in the country today. And that is why I am not in support of every time we conduct an election, somebody must go to court. Why should we have to go to court once it's transparent? Once everybody can go to the poll and determine who is going to be...
Honorable, but you are begging the issue here because Wale knows in Nigeria, being a politician is a full-time job for you.
Yes.
Okay. But you have a profession.
I have a profession.
Which is?
I'm an environmentalist and I'm a businessman.
Okay. Well, some of the cynical things you hear about democracy, it substitutes election by the incompetent many for appointment by the corrupt few. Have you seen the imagery there?
Obviously, there will always be job for the boys. And of course, all these incompetent many that comes in into the system are as a result of the nonchalant, I don't care, and is there another word again? Careless attitude of the voter. If the voter is up and doing, these people are not ghosts. My brother here has a constituency. His people know him. They voted for him because they know him. He was talking about his opponent. His opponent could not overturn him because he did a good job. But you see in some situations where people who are not known are even to be doing something good are voted in. Let me give you a very small example. All of us live in various communities, all over, everywhere in Nigeria, not only Lagos, in Jikoka, in Edwabo, in Nembe, in your Kwebo,
okay,
in your area. Kwebo is your area. All over. No, I know Kwaibon, anyway.
Okay, I'm from Barenin.
It's all right, it's all right. So where I'm going is
I'm from Barenin.
Barenin. So in your Barenin too, there is a community, and there are people who make those community tick. That's where I'm going. Maybe you want pipe bore water, you want electricity, good roads, health center or dispensary as they will call it. These are the people that you see that they are community leaders or youths that ensure that that community is tick. But when it comes to election, they want to contest. You find out that they are nowhere. They won't even be involved in the election. My brother, you are talking about it, I don't remember.
Is that apathy?
Apathy and nonchalant. On election day, and now that the procedure, INEC has given us, has rolled out the timetable, maybe between now and April, for people to be involved in election party.
But we are ready to go on a break. Please don't lose it. INEC, another election roster, another opportunity beckoning. We'll be back. All right, folks, welcome back. After 30 minutes of listening to my guests, I now know for a fact that the misgivings we had been largely man-made. Gentlemen, let's look at the social media and involvement of the youth. They are the critical mass here. You know, you need them. Yeah. You represent them. How do you take them away from the social media?
I won't take them away from the social media. I will encourage them to use the social media positively. The social media is the fastest way of reaching out to people now, and they must take advantage of it. They must not just see it as just where to post nude pictures and all sort of things. It is time for them to use it economically and to use it for the benefits of their community or their society. And society
at large.
So at large. So for me, the youth, we used social media at the last election, and it worked for us in this country. That's the easiest way that we use to upturn those who were in office at the federal level, the PDP government in 2015. The youth were involved. There was this mass movement. It wasn't anything less than a movement. Mm-hmm. People were determined to change the government.
But you know, the movement has not stopped.
The movement has not stopped, and yeah. that's where I'm driving to. When you look at the way the social media helped us in 2015 to do that, the same social media is going to help us now to determine who will be representing us at different levels of representations. So it is expected that the youth get more involved in determining who is going to represent them. And in doing so, they must be able to project their aspirants. They must be able to ask questions. They must be able to criticize constructively in order to bring out the best.
But many of you don't take criticisms, even if they are constructive. But let me quickly take the first call. George is here in Lagos. George, welcome.
Good morning, Citizen Jones, and good morning to your panelists.
Yeah.
Good morning.
This subject, I have many of us have spoken about this timetable in the past, but INEC does not appear to see the need to listen. The National Assembly members, they ride at the back of the executive to get elected, only to turn around to hold the president by the jugular most times. There should be a different date of electing legislators so that it will give the electorate opportunity to know the people that we are voting for. Most of them are not known. All those at the National Assembly now, more than 3/4 of them got elected because of General Buhari. We want to know them. Let there be a separate date for National Assembly elections so that they will show themselves to the people who will be able to assess them to know whether they are fit to go there. Yeah. That's my point. Thank you.
Yeah, George, more like saying, let the big masquerade come out last. Wale?
Well, just that's what he's saying, but I'm not of that opinion.
Okay.
Maybe George's view of it is entitled to his own opinion. Equally, my own opinion is
but if you've been doing a particular thing over time and you're getting particular results, isn't it time you change?
I agree with him. That is his own opinion. He has brought another third idea to it, that each election will be done on its own basis, separately. That's what he's proposing. The governorship, independent, out of the House of Assembly, the House of Assembly different, National Assembly different, and the presidential different. That's what he's proposing. Okay, that's his own opinion. But again, all of us are shouting about the economy of elections too. And that's why I came out with the idea of, yes, let's have all on the same way, at the same day. But again, where I would just advise is that, indeed, that's why this timetable is here. My man now who is contesting knows that he has to sell himself to the people. The governor will be known individually. riding on the back of the governor may not arise if indeed there is serious voter awareness.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that this program is all about.
Okay, Honorable, in the 21st century, in spite of a presumed sophistication, people still fall for bags of rice, cups of rice, 1,000 naira and so on election morning.
Unfortunately,
that's primitive.
yeah, unfortunately, that is what is
On.
Don't tell me you practiced it.
No, well, for those who knows me
give.
very well, and those who have been following me over the years, they know who I am as their representative.
You don't give.
I give,
Okay.
but I don't give to get something back, not to buy them over. Like I said during the last primaries, I told my delegate that, look, I'm not going to give anybody 1 penny. If you know I've served you in the last 4 years very well, go ahead and vote for me. If not, vote for any other person you desire. But at the end of the day, I got my votes. So if I'm giving them anything, it's not because I want to buy them or buy the votes out of them. And that is what I think should apply in every election.
While a pseudo-intellectualism is another problem here. What do I mean? The activist, like you, the lawyer, name them, they criticize the system, but pin them down, give them the job. Say, for instance, INEC chair, you go there and you are consumed by the vagaries of the office.
I won't say they are pseudo-intellectuals. If you say they are pseudo-intellectual, then it means you are demeaning.
Sorry,
you are casting aspersion on our status.
No, it's
like
not you.
like me,
Hold on. Don't go to court yet. Let me take Adamu is waiting patiently. Adamu, thank you for waiting. He's calling from up north, Ilorin, Kwara State. Yeah, welcome, Adamu. Yeah,
Ilorin, Kwara State.
Yeah.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Morning.
Good job of doing.
Thank you.
My point is that the last caller who called that said that they should do individual elections. It is very important this time around. We should, especially the National Assembly, we should do their elections separately because our people here who are not educated, even some who are educated, it is very difficult to understand the ballot paper. So we should please, because of God, the INEC is please, because of God, we should separate.
No, because of the people. Leave God out of this.
Yeah, because of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of our people are not educated and they cannot even identify the ballot paper of the President and the National Assemblies.
Yeah. Okay.
So we should please, we should please separate the National Assembly because it is the National Assembly and the governors are our problems.
And I tell you this, I don't know, Wale, how does it work? Thank you, Adamu. How does it work? In this case, who floats the idea? National Assembly or INEC?
The idea of what, sorry?
The idea of staggering the election, reordering the arrangement.
There must be a law. It is, well, floating, yeah, you are right. It is INEC that should float it and send it as a memo.
Saying we want to reorder, reorder the...
It's INEC that should do it.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, that's where the political class, you and I, you the media man, and we the stakeholders come in to advocate on this issue. Because we must have a better Nigeria. But before I go there, I want maybe the word you should use instead of pseudo is those who pretenders, right? In that, there are so many who are just pretenders. They come out and pretend that they are this, they can do this, and when you give them the opportunity, they fail. Yes, let's leave those ones and look at those who indeed are honest, people of passion, people who can look at you in the face and tell you the right thing, irrespective of because you give them office. Many people who are holding offices are bootlickers, but let's leave that.
You think the system has room for people like that?
No, of course. In fact, that's what the system encourages, so that people who are your praise singers, the praise singers are those that the headman will put in the office so that they'll continue to praise him. But let's leave that one and quickly address what my brother from Ilorin said. The whole essence of what his problem to me is voter education. If people are educated to knowing their left from their right, then definitely won't have all these problems. You go to the ballot center, to the election unit, you collect your ballot paper, you know that the party you want to vote for through the logo. You point on it and thumbprint on it directly, not sideways, not in between, or you allow the ink to be so damp that once you now fold it, it now smear the paper. Then definitely. So all these things are things that our political leaders and our community leaders, even faith leaders, faith-based leaders, should teach people. Because the last election, I'm still surprised. Even which election did they have last? Edo? No, there was a rerun. So maybe Edo election. There were void votes too, and I was surprised that we still have void vote, despite all the cry and all the activities. But again, it means it's not yet Uhuru. So let's continue to educate our people. Education will bring out the best from our people.
All right. Sorry, a call from Kano. Abdul Karim is here. Welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, sir. Good morning, panel.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Kari.
Yeah, my contribution to this upcoming election of 2019 is that the government will look at the situation whereby we are facing. I could remember when we voted the last election, which was held in Kano here. I was one of the
officers, electoral officers.
Yes, I'm one of the police officers. Then when in Sabongari and Kano. But there's a lot of argument. Some people are bribing, like big PDP now, are bribing in order for them to get votes from we people. And that is even called an issue between the Hausa and non-Hausa people here in Kano, where some people are bargaining, giving rice away, giving money away. And then, so this thing bring a issue. And then, we shone our coalition with that to our coalition officer like that. We shot the place due to the violence that was occurred during the election in 2015.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
All right. Honorable, this falls on your laps now.
Yeah.
In my part of the world, Ibibio land, the proverb is this: if you enter the forest and saw that a goat was used as a bait for a trap, won't you leave the forest?
You have to.
Okay. Bring that home here.
Now, let me prolong master. You see, I might not have the...
I'm sorry.
The understanding
wait.
of that your proverb.
Don't put yourself in the trouble.
I understand.
Let him give you the meaning.
The meaning of that, I can now...
Okay, make I break them down.
Break them down.
Why do politicians, not you now, resort to bribery, if we got Abdul Karim right, to get a vote? Must you do it?
You mustn't. And I just told you a scenario here.
That's
and
what
people are watching me all over.
That's
my cousins are also watching me
That
now.
is the goat as the bait.
Yes.
Because you go there.
Maybe I should also talk
about...
about...
Let me take Reverend Dominic is here in Lagos. Welcome, Reverend.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Welcome, sir. Today? Yeah.
Good morning, Pastor Guade.
Morning, my brother.
Good morning, Honorable.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Go on. It saddens my heart that another timetable for the election. Mr. Guade, what have you got from the last election? I will not vote for this election until I seek your advice, maybe at the end of the year. You will point to me as another candidate. I will change this blood flow. I will change this bad governance. I work for APC. I'm a pastor. I've been a monitor. I've been in personal politics in Fresh. I voted for Buhari, and things will change. But Mr. Guade, things have gone from bad to worse. Let me give an example. Please give me 10 seconds. I was in immigration office yesterday to renew my passport. I was there over 24 hours. To renew passport, it was buying passport, not renewing. We are paying 30,000, we are paying 26,000, we are paying 40,000 to renew a passport. In Nigeria today, and it's openly in immigration office. You can put me there. My passport is still there. We can put face to this. We start when Buhari comes. This shenanigans will change. Yes, I read cover this morning that the spokesman of Mr. President justified killing. That in the death of Jonathan, 520 people were killed by herdsmen. So if they kill 200 people today, it's not a new day.
You have rubbed that in. No problem. No problem. Reverend, we got you first time.
Maybe I should...
he wants the advice from Wale.
Nigeria is...
Vote, like don't vote.
No, not that. I'll just give him one small analogy. Nigeria is like a vehicle that had a very major accident. And you take it to a panel beater. You can't get your vehicle back within 2 days. Nigeria has gone through some war situation for some time. And this is a government that has been trying to fix. You just mentioned the immigration. Buhari is not at the immigration office. Every Nigerian, the issue of corruption is inside each and every one of us. And until we now begin to talk to our conscience, we can't get it right. Buhari is not everywhere. We are the Buhari everywhere. I go to the market, even the petrol station. The last time I bought, the person tinkered with the meter. And I had to tell him, no, I brought out my phone. We did the calculation. It's not up to. So I insisted, and they now increased and pumped and added the shortfall. So everyone wants to cheat until you stand on your ground that, no, I want it to be done the right way.
Because
if you don't insist on doing it the right way.
The president never sent him.
Nobody.
Usman is here at Ikorodu. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
How do you do? Welcome.
Good morning.
You see, I'm really, really not happy on what is happening in this country. Now, election has come again. Timetable for 2019 has come. And you see now people will be struggling and giving us all their manifestos. Now, who is who? I am of the opinion that they should separate the timetable, the time for governorship, the time for presidential candidateship, National Assembly, so that we know where we are going. Because if they model things together, they will convince the old people, the people in the village, the old women. They don't know their left hand, their right hand. So if they say today for governorship election, everybody will know. If they say tomorrow will be National Assembly election, everybody will know. But this one, they want to ridicule us again. They want to do abracadabra. You know, I don't like it.
Right.
Let us do things correctly. They say corruption. Is it not part of corruption now? That is part of corruption.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll now have the opportunity of saying something
because
on that.
you are the man at the center.
Yes. Let me say this. I want to go in line with the last speaker concerning separating the elections. I think we are not yet ripe for what my colleagues, Barrister Ogwade, is talking about.
Don't mind, he's thinking utopian.
That's what people said when I started with voter education.
Do you know the major challenges we are facing in this country is coming from the National Assembly? And why is it so? Because a lot of them got elected through the belief that they are in a particular party that everybody loves the Mr. President. And because Mr. President is in Party A, everybody that is going to vote will vote for Party A. Whosoever that Party A presents will be the automatic winner of that election. And I think until we start putting faces to to the elections, to know who and who is going to represent me, because we are not yet ripe to the level that people can just be giving ballot papers and we just know who to vote for or who not to vote for. What we are voting for now is political parties. And it is time for us to start looking at the candidates. And one of the major challenges this country is having today is because the National Assembly are not supporting, providing that legislative framework for Mr. President to operate. And that is why...
Honorable, just a minute. If I take you back to June 12, 1993, will it be too old-fashioned for 2018?
It might. We need to...
Open secret ballot.
Yes, the open secret ballot might work and might not. Because I think the best thing to do is to go e-balloting. Open secret ballot, now Nigerians, politicians will always devise means of...
to beat it.
To beat some of these things. So for me, if we go e-balloting, fine. And we know we can't achieve that with 2019, but we can achieve it in 2023. And that is what we are talking about. You can see that a lot of people are getting frustrated with our election process, not because of anything, but because of the National Assembly. If the federal is working like Lagos State is working, I don't think a lot of people will be complaining.
Let me quickly take Abdul Razak Ilorin, the last caller, not the least for today. Welcome. Yeah, brother Abdul Razak, are you there?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, let's go, sir.
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, sir, the issue on ground, what we are seeing presently, this kind of issue has been...
Are we in business? Are you talking with us?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Please ignore what you are hearing in the background. And
Yeah, I'm hearing now. I'm hearing.
Your television, the audio on your TV is interrupting. Let's go. Abdul Razak, let's go. Time is of the essence. Okay.
So for me, I think it is important that everybody knows that you just need to vote, irrespective of who is there. If Reverend Dominic is saying because what he expected is not getting, in view of that, he's not going to vote in 2019, I think he will be doing himself and Nigerians a lot of disservice if he's choosing that route.
And if in his judgment a wrong candidate is voted in, at that point he has no
choice. He has no say.
No. That is why he needs to vote. One of the greatest mistake we are making is that we believe that our vote don't count, even if it is one vote. I've seen elections where you just few votes, 1 vote, 2 votes, 6 votes that make the other person to emerge. So don't think that whosoever you are voting for, if you vote and you also have the opportunity of convincing people to vote for your candidate, why not? So it's important that everybody must see it as our collective responsibility.
All right. How do we close, Wale?
Well, in closing, the ball is in the court of our people. INEC has set the ball rolling, and I want to believe that all of us must be up and doing. Look at the timetable very well. If you are not yet politically motivated, just please go to your area. There is a political party in your area that you can join, register, and be a member. It is when you join that you have an opportunity to have a say. The Yoruba, since you gave us an ABB proverb, which will give you a Yoruba proverb, the Yoruba will say, if you are not there, you cannot contribute, right? So be there so as to contribute. Your contributions matter in national development, and national development stands from your local area. Your local area is where the development goes up, down, up. So please, I beg all of us to be involved. And people like Reverend Dominic, don't be discouraged because the electoral process, the politicians are not giving you what you want for now. It's a continuous process.
And for the politician, a take-home. Talk to your colleagues.
Yeah, my take-home is that if you don't vote, don't complain.
To the politicians.
Okay, to the politicians.
Yes, that they should do what they promised.
Leave the voter, leave the elector.
Okay, to the politician, I want to challenge every politician who is offering himself or herself for service to ensure that they do what they say they are going for. And they must be able to deliver what they have promised the electorate. If you know you cannot deliver, don't dream of contesting.
If you don't like the heat, leave
the
kitchen.
Leave the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. So it's important that we all know that we serve the people. We are not in the offices just because of us to have a title. We are in that office.
Or the money you people are making. but sorry, I had to rub that.
That is another controversial issue. So don't let us go into that.
The controversy is settled there. But
don't rub at me.
Let me rub it out by thanking you for coming. Honorable Segun Olulade, many thanks. Wish you well.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Wale Ogunade, thank you.
To God be the glory.
Let's keep the voter or the elector educated. All right, folks, we must draw the program to a close here, but not before telling you that in a democracy, the recurrent suspicion is that more than half of the people are wrong or right half of the time. I'm out of here. We'll be here tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye now.